This story comes from a girl named Riley, who grew up in a quiet suburb in New Jersey. One of those neighborhoods where people leave their doors unlocked, kids ride bikes until sundown, and nothing truly bad ever seems to happen. Riley and her mom moved into a small rental house when she was just 13, trying to start fresh after a divorce. It was a modest two-bedroom home on a tree-lined street, nothing out of the ordinary, except for one strange detail: the basement. It was unfinished, dim, dusty, and filled with that faint smell of damp cement. But what stood out wasn't the moldy walls or flickering light bulbs. It was a heavy wooden door near the back. It was painted white, chipped at the corners, and sealed tight with a thick padlock. When Riley's mom asked the landlord about it, he said it was just an old storage room filled with leftover junk. Broken furniture, maybe some tools. Nothing useful. He claimed the lock was for liability reasons in case something inside collapsed. At the time, it seemed like a reasonable explanation. They were tired. They didn't press further. But over the next few weeks, that door began to haunt Riley's thoughts. At first, it was just a feeling, the way you feel when someone's standing behind you. She started noticing strange drafts down there, odd, cold spots, and, occasionally, what felt like eyes watching from the dark corner behind that door. Still, she said nothing. Her mom worked long hours and was already stretched thin, and Riley didn't want to sound like the paranoid kid of a single parent. But then, small things started happening. Food went missing. Not much, just enough to be confusing. A granola bar here, a juice box there. Her mom thought Riley was sneaking snacks. Riley thought the same of her mom. But neither of them could explain the missing laundry. A few socks, a pair of sneakers, a flashlight that had been in the kitchen drawer one day and gone the next. Then came the knocking. It wasn't loud or aggressive, just soft taps. One morning, while eating breakfast, Riley heard it. 3 slow, dull knocks from beneath her feet, from the basement ceiling. She froze. The noise stopped. She waited, listening. Nothing else. Her mom hadn't heard it. A few days later, she heard the knocks again, this time while switching laundry. 3 soft raps coming from inside the locked door. She said her whole body went cold. That night, she finally told her mom. She explained everything: the strange feelings, the food, the noises. Her mom listened with a concerned look but tried to reason it out. Maybe it was an animal. Maybe a raccoon or a squirrel had gotten inside. She promised to call the landlord. But that night, Riley couldn't sleep. At around 2 a.m., she heard something creak just outside her door. Her room was at the end of the hall. The door was open. Her mom's was across the hall, still closed. She sat up slowly, straining to hear. Another creak. She grabbed her phone and turned on the flashlight. Nothing. Empty hallway, no footsteps, just silence. The next day, the landlord showed up. He seemed agitated when Riley's mom brought up the locked door, but eventually he unlocked it. The door groaned open, revealing a dark, narrow room filled with dust and the faintest smell of sweat. And then they saw it. A mattress, yellowed and stained, crumpled food wrappers, a pile of old clothes, a bucket in the corner that no one wanted to examine too closely. Even worse, a phone charger plugged into an extension cord, snaked under the door and connected to a basement outlet. Someone had been living in that room, hiding, watching. The landlord swore he had no idea. He said no one else had a key. The police were called. They took statements, searched the neighborhood, but whoever had been staying there was gone, vanished. No fingerprints, no tracks, no ID. And yet, things began to add up. Riley and her mom started remembering all the little things they'd brushed off. Doors that had been left ajar, lights left on, times when the TV turned on by itself, moments when they could have sworn they saw a shadow move in the corner of their eye. Riley recalled a specific night, about 2 weeks before they discovered the room. She'd woken up in the middle of the night and found her bedroom door locked from the outside. Her door didn't even have a keyhole. She'd assumed it was her imagination, a dream, but now she wasn't so sure. They moved out that same weekend. Didn't even wait for the end of the month. Just packed and left. The landlord waived their deposit, probably out of guilt or fear. In the weeks that followed, Riley couldn't sleep without checking every closet, every cabinet. Sometimes she thought she heard breathing from beneath her bed. Sometimes she dreamed of the basement, the door slightly open, and someone standing inside watching her. She doesn't know who it was, or how long they were there. The police never found the intruder. No updates, no follow-up, but sometimes, she says, late at night in her new home, she hears soft knocks on the wall. 3 slow taps, distant but unmistakable, and she wonders, did he ever really leave? Or is he just waiting for the next basement to crawl into? If you found this story chilling, consider liking the video and subscribing for more disturbing, true horror stories.